Haha, we're in finally.
Hello, how are you?
Awesome, brother. I love that coat, by the way.
I thought it'd be all colourful and nice sea monster t-shirt.
I like it. I like Sea Monster t-shirt.
So, how are you then?
Dude, you know what? There's no rest for the wicked.
Yes, I get that.
Let's put it like that. There's absolutely no rest for the wicked. But other than that, I'm great. I'm preparing to come to France
Oh, wonderful. France.
for the 10-year
Any?
anniversary of the attack.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's hard to believe it's been 10 years already, right?
10 years. Good grief.
But to me, it's a demonstration you can't kill rock and roll. There's nothing that a bad person can do to stop rock and roll.
Yeah. Because that was going to be one of my later questions about the attack, because obviously it's something we can't avoid.
No, we can't. It
Um,
has to be talked about.
it has
Love
to
you
be
too,
talked
baby.
about, but has it changed your outlook on people and evil in people or anything like that?
How do, that's a tough question to answer. Oh yeah, brother, go right ahead. I I've always loved. I love people. I love people, and but bad people do bad things. It didn't. I was very fortunate in that I'm very disciplined in my faith. I'm a very devout Catholic, and uh, bad people do bad things. But like anything, I guess it's a process. This is such a I love this question, but it is such a weird question to answer because there's no simple approach to it. You know what I mean? There's no simple answer to getting there. I believe evil people will do evil things, and I believe if you even passively encourage evil people, they will do even more evil things.
Yeah.
That's how I look
And
at it.
and make up convoluted reasons for excuses for their evil actions.
And then once they commit to it, there's no reasoning with them. There's no there's nothing you can do to 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 change their mind. No truth will help. They're blind to truth. Once you've totally been demoralized, so to speak, and you've given yourself over to something dark, it doesn't matter what you do. Uh, that's when you're truly lost. And you see it today. You see it today. You see people being exposed to truth and then doubling down. You see it in music. You see a band put out one hell of a shitty record and then a year later put out another shitty record. You know what I mean? Like critics be damned.
Yeah.
It's just up to the people who are good. Those who can should. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And
For me,
sometimes go ahead.
the surprising story that came out of the horrendous incident was you two helped you get back on stage. How did that happen?
I wouldn't even say that you two helped us get back on stage. I would say that they saved our lives. I would say that they made it possible for me to ever play music again. And U2 gets a lot of shit. They get a lot of you know, when a band gets as big as U2, it's easy to cast dispersions on them. You know what I mean? It's easy to point out things. But I only have my experience with them. And my experience is that 3 days after that attack happened, I was never going to go on stage again. I was never going to go on stage again. And I don't want anyone to think it's because I was afraid. I'm not afraid to die. I really am not, but I'm afraid to be cheese and trap against my friends. I don't ever want to be something that lures my friends into a place where I have to watch them be slaughtered. Um, that was something that I was more afraid of than anything. That's a guilt that's difficult to bear. And I was already under the awareness that this was going to be really hard to bear. And you two just weren't having it. The way they looked at it, they loved our band and they wanted us to keep playing. And there's nothing more pure than that. So they brought us out to France and insisted that we finish our set. And I will tell you, I don't have stage fright. I've never had a hard time getting on stage except for one time. And it was that time was the hardest time I've ever had to get on stage. And they did something more than just bring us back out on stage. They left us with their own stage. They walked off their own stage and let us finish our set. I can tell you right now, I don't know of a band in history that's ever done anything remotely close to that. Uh,
No.
I don't know. I don't know a band that would. So anybody can say whatever they want about you two, but to me, they're angels, and they're some of the finest men I've ever met in my life. The drummer for you two is the king. Bono and the Edge and their bass player are. They didn't have to do shit for us. They didn't have to do anything. They could have put a post on Instagram and it probably would have been good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they brought us all, every last one of us, they brought us out back to Paris and they insisted we go on stage. Hey, would you go close Tuesday's door for me? That's what they did for us, and that's not a small thing, brother.
No.
That's the only
No.
reason I'm still playing. That's the only reason
That's
I'm still
actually
playing.
incredible. I didn't know that full story, and that's very moving actually. And it's opened my eyes more to you two than what I ever imagined. That's quite incredible.
They brought us back first class. They put us up, and then they insisted. And when I was performing with Bono, you can actually, if you watch that clip, you'll see me coming back to life. You'll
Yeah.
see my when he's pointing at the catwalk, and he's egging me on, going, "Go on, go on, you got to do
Yeah.
this," like a father would,
Yeah.
like a father would, and never asked us for anything. You
Yeah.
know, it turns out they're fans of ours, and I found these old interviews that were very surprising, where the Edge is calling themselves Eagles of Death Metal Light. From the album that has like "Get Your Boots On," "Get Your Sexy Boots On." That whole commercial is women in mustaches, and it's called "Get On Your Boots." Uh, so they were fans, but even fans don't have to do anything, and most bands are ego driven. So why are they? They're not going to give up their stage.
Yeah.
I, I have no problem telling anyone this. We owe our whole lives in show business to you two.
Yeah. That's incredible. It really is. Um, Thank you for sharing that with me. What I didn't manage to get to say at the beginning is I'm for Dale's Gig Reviews and Metallaville online magazine, and I believe you met Glenn from Metallaville. Was it last year?
I did.
He's seen you perform in January 2025, and he said you did a karaoke style cover set, which I believe could be from your album Eagles of Death Metal presents Boots Electric performing the best songs we never wrote.
Yeah, the best album of songs I've never written. Yes, that's correct.
That's the one. A short title there.
We
But
like
he
to have a
said,
mouthful.
yeah. He said that everybody loved your inspirational, improvisational humor. So I take it was more of a comedy set with songs.
Yeah, it's more of it's more of a Vegas style show.
Yeah,
It's more of a lounge show where I get to interact with people because, like I said, I love people. I love every. This is the greatest job on earth that I have,
yeah,
and it's the luckiest job on earth. And the only reason I get to do it is because that people like my music. So when I say I love the fans, that's not an understatement.
yeah,
That's a true story. And this is my opportunity to really get with them and play songs that are pre-recorded. It's only karaoke if other people get to sing. but pre-recorded tracks of songs that we all love
Yeah,
because
because
music is the great. Go
I've
ahead.
got your album. I got the album. I've heard it. I've listened to it, and I absolutely love Careless Whisper. I love the distorted guitar sound in it. I love how the vocals get more distorted as it goes on. It becomes an uncomfortable listening experience as it goes on, and it's brilliant. And that's my sort of thing. I love that sort of distortion. I think it's fantastic.
Oh, thank
But
you.
the one I did find odd was the AC/DC done in the style of T Rex.
Well, let me. So, the real reason for some of these covers that we do, the reason why I love to do the covers records is because I operate under a theory that a good song cannot be fucked up.
Yeah.
And and the real like so with Careless Whisper, that is such a brilliant song of brokenheartedness and of the sense of shame that comes with betraying someone. And you can't do anything to it to hide that. It was written so beautifully. The AC/DC tracks came about over a bet. I was hanging out at Rancho de la Luna, and we were having these discussions, as we often will, about what makes a perfect pop song, or how do you write this type of song, or what a band must do. Everyone's got opinions on what a band must do to stay. And my opinion at that time was like, all you need is one good song. Just ask the
Yeah.
Ramones or AC/DC. They've got one good song, and they keep making it over and over and over again. And I bet you $1 million you could pick any two AC/DC songs, and I could record them with minimal arrangement differences, and literally pick a point, and we can combine two songs at any given moment, and I'll prove it to you. And so they picked "Long Way to the Top" and "High Voltage."
Yeah. Yeah.
See?
Right.
So
You
and
need
it
to
worked.
you need to just walk back again. Walk back again.
Oh, you want
Yeah.
me to walk back again?
Yeah, underneath your aeroplanes, you've got an F-86 Sabre there, and you've got a MiG-15 or
Yep,
MiG-17.
that's right.
Oh, lovely.
And then over here, I have a German Messerschmitts.
Oh, BF-109.
Yep. And then I have a really, really weak model of an American plane right here.
Can't see that one quite. What one's that? Is it a Hellcat?
Yeah, I believe it is a Hellcat. It's like
Yeah,
a toy. It's like a cheap toy, but I collect airplanes. I'm a fanatic for aviation. The Sabre is my favorite jet.
I love aviation. This flag here was flown in an RAF Mildenhall based KC-135 straight tanker, and it was refueling B-52 bombers.
That's insane. For me, the reason why we get to play rock and roll is because our grandparents did that.
Yes, yeah.
It's because
My,
our grandparents used their savvy, their talents to create devices that kept us free. And
yes,
we used ours to create the devices to celebrate it.
yeah, yeah.
And
I
I
agree.
feel we owe a great debt to that generation beyond anything we even really discuss. Making some really great History Channel shows isn't even enough. We
No,
have to preserve it too.
yes, yes. My granddad fought in the Second World War, and he was in the Recce Corps, and he did a lot of incredible things. But we're straying off topic.
Just real
Happening
quick, this is
Harry
my
says,
flag section of my house. See?
I've seen that. You've got the French flag as well. I've seen that. And
But I'm
is that
Welsh,
the
so I got a Welsh flag up there. Don't tell anybody.
I'm half Welsh. You're all right.
All right, all right, all right. Good, 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 good. And I see that
My
appetite
mum,
for destruction.
yeah. And Trick or Treat from the movie with
Oh
Gene
yeah,
Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne.
incredible, incredible. I just watched Phantom of the Park. I bought that Appetite for Destruction album the day it came out. I just happened to be at the record store here in Palm Desert, or where I used to live in Palm Desert, and my friend worked there and said, "Dude, check out this cover. We're not even supposed to put it out on the slots." And I was like, I knew I would get in trouble. I had to hide that record. I had to hide that in my friend's garage for 2 years. Yep.
Pride of place, in a frame, looked after.
See, there you go.
Well, look, I won't be able to put that back in there now, but going back, Happening Harry says a big hi.
I'll be seeing him soon. I love Happening Harry.
Yeah. And I've been asked, have you any funny and embarrassing stories about him?
I don't know if I have any funny and embarrassing stories. I only have endearing and terribly sweet stories about him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He is someone that I would do anything
Right.
for real. And he's someone that I want to work my ass off to make sure he's around as long as possible.
Oh, fantastic. I've never met the guy, but Glenn has asked me to ask these questions because I believe this
Good.
interview was set up because mutual friends, etc.
Exactly. In fact, I think we're going to be doing a show for Happening Harry here pretty soon.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
And I'll be doing my karaoke. I shouldn't call it karaoke though, because I'm the only one who sings. Maybe if I let one other person sing, then we can. But I'm so greedy when it comes to that.
We'll have to get Harry up on stage doing it.
Yeah, done.
Yeah. So, because I mean, you cover like David Bowie, Mickey Newbury, Cat Stevens, and obviously Queens of Stone Age and Distillers as well. I mean, it's obvious that you're going to do Queens of Stone Age because of your association with Josh Homme.
You know, the truth be told, I would probably do it anyway because those are he writes my favorite songs. My opinion is, and this isn't just because he's my best friend and because I absolutely adore and worship the man, because I do, but I think he's one of the greatest songwriters of our generation, and I think that's obvious. And I think there's very little arguing with that.
Yeah. Yeah. How
So
long you
those
known him?
songs, I first met Joshua Homme in August of 1979.
Good grief.
And he was already the tallest motherfucker that I'd ever seen. It's true. And our friendship began there because we both liked a show called Faulty Towers. And he
Yes.
was the only other kid I knew that even knew what it was.
Yeah.
So it started with a Masterpiece Theater. That's Jen. Remember when we would watch Masterpiece Theater would show English TV shows? Yeah, I remember. And Faulty Towers was on there. So if your parents let you watch PBS, then you might be clued into Faulty Towers, which I think is one of the greatest 2 seasons of television ever made.
Yeah.
So it started there, but I was a lot smaller than him. I had a big mouth, so I got picked on a lot. And Joshua was the dude that stopped the bullies from picking on me, literally. And he did it both by physically intervening and by counseling me on what was required of a person if they want the bullies to stop. And that's fighting back, even if you get your ass kicked.
I've got a little story about Fawlty Towers for you. The actor who played Manuel, Andrew Sachs, when I was a sweet, delicate 13-year-old, I wrote a play and it won the Young Writers Festival, and he actually performed in the play I wrote.
Oh, that's not a little story, my friend. That's a pretty big story. Uh, isn't that the dude that Russell Brand was calling that caused all
Yes.
that?
Yeah, because Russell Brand dated his niece or something like that.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about that. I'm a big believer in showing respect.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
for me. I'm a big believer in showing respect. I'm a big believer in it's not always cool to be irreverent.
Yeah. So, what are your favourite venues around LA to do these non-karaoke songs?
I love you immediately. Um, I like to do. I mean, the beauty of it is you can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
And but Three of Clubs is one of my favorite places to do it. I like to do it in any venue where I can literally physically be out amongst the people. because I always pick songs that everyone knows. So then I get to pick on people like, oh, it looks like you're really into this song. Give us a few bars. And the whole point of it is to kind of force everyone, whether they like it or not, to get together and to join in on something that's just joy. You know,
Yeah.
we just had a show. Eagles of Death Metal just finished a residency at a bar at a club called the Terragram Ballroom, an incredible place. And for our final show, this was on the 30th, we did a truncated performance of Rocky Horror Picture Show starring Kate Beckinsale as Frank.
Just go get me the box set. Get me the box set. You don't want to see the pictures of me at the Rocky Horror Picture Show because they'll disturb you for the rest of your life. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, that's incredible. How old is that?
God, yeah, 30-year-old.
Oh, that box set. Same with me. And I do it every year. And this year we got Kate Beckinsale to play Frank.
Oh wow, because
A-
her dad,
And she
he
did
was in a
incredible, dude. She did so good. You can find the clips on YouTube already,
yeah,
but she killed it. And I played Rocky.
Rocky.
Yeah, I wanted to be gold. I wanted to be golden and feel like a muscle man. And
Excellent.
and it went off without a hitch. In fact, we've been invited to do it every year now.
Oh, fantastic. And where is that going to be performed?
Probably the Telegram, but our goal is to take it back to the Roxy where it all started.
Yeah, yeah.
Here, at
Because
least here in the United States. It really started in London, but I mean,
yeah, in London, where my play was performed in the upstairs room at the Royal Court Theatre, and that's where it started.
well,
It's
I
like
know we're
six
planning,
degrees of separation.
brother. We're friends and we didn't even know it. We're planning a tour of the UK very soon, so when I come back, I'm going to expect to see you there.
Oh, you will. I'll be asking for a press pass and
Oh,
for,
you'll get a
meet
press
and
pass.
greet and
I'm
everything.
I'm offering that to you right now. You'll be getting that right now.
Well, Kate Beckinsale, dad, was in a very well-known TV series back in the day called Porridge, and he's very famous.
Oh yeah, I was one of those kids that knew that Sanford and Son was based on a show called Steptoe and Son. I'm one of
Yeah,
those kids that understands that almost every great thing on American television probably started in England.
yeah. See, I was the opposite way round. All my influences when I was a child was Lon Chaney Jr. and Bela Lugosi and all those old horror films.
Are you a horror fanatic?
Really am, yes.
Here, hold on one second. I have to sign something.
I have to take it to the post office
No
before.
problem.
Oh, I need a pen that it doesn't
Wait,
work. Okay, here we go.
so I'm going to run to the post
We
office.
did. Do I have another one I need to sign?
I
Okay.
forgot to put my middle name. That's why these.
Ah, ha, ha, ha. There you go. See, I see your record. This is my what I call my accessible vinyl.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
That's about a third of my collection, and I've basically just picked out all my favorites so I can have them accessible to me.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing beats vinyl.
And then I'll also show you a few other things. So these are my accessible acoustics. We have guitars all along every wall right here.
Oh, I've just seen a Bride of Frankenstein. Oh, that's amazing.
I'm a big fan of the Bride. More
Yeah,
guitars. Then I also collect. Do you remember a show called uh, HR Puffin Stuff?
yeah.
Sid Croft autographed some action figures for me,
Oh, wow.
and it's got Electro Woman and Dyna Girl,
Yeah.
Kling and Clang, and Sigmund the Sea Monster. Then you
Oh,
remember the original animated Lord of the Rings?
oh gosh, yeah, I've got that upstairs on VHS in a collectible box.
I've got some cells, some animation cells from it.
Oh, wow. I'm a massive Tolkien fan, huge
Me too.
Tolkien fan.
And then when you go up to my bedroom upstairs, you see I have this guitar collection all along the walls. My 51 Silvertone. This is a Chinese made fake Gibson, and you cannot tell the difference.
Yeah.
It even has the serial numbers on it, which tells me that Gibson's probably manufacturing parts in China and we're doing it secretly. And the Chinese were like, oh, yeah? Well, we'll just start doing that too. And what are you going to do about it?
I also noticed you're flying V at the top of the stairs as well. Beautiful.
That's the Jimi Hendrix model. I love that one.
Yeah, yeah, classic guitar that one. Um, your second album, Death by Sexy, has got to be the one which resonates most with me because it's when I first discovered you, thanks to your song "I Want You So Hard." In it, you've got obviously Josh Homme and Jack Black, and you've got Dave Grohl on the drums on that video.
Yeah, we've got quite a few Eagles of Death Metal. The way I look at it and the way I built it, it's like the special forces of rock.
Yeah,
If you know Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones and you know
yeah,
any given Ramon song, then you know Meet Me in the Ladies Room by Kiss, then you
yeah.
know everything you need to know about Eagles of Death Metal. And I call on everyone to serve at one point or another. And that's worked out really well. You know, I have this vision that Eagles of Death Metal will keep going even when I'm dead. I'll just audition a new Jesse. And
Because
I'm going
you
to try
seem
to
to
do
get
that.
yeah, you seem to get a lot of incredibly famous people in your band who's collaborated with you. Joey Castillo from Danzig, he's a drummer, and my favorite Lynch, the My United States of America. Yeah, I love
Yeah. I
that.
mean, dude, we've been very fortunate because it's hard to say no to the fun show.
Yeah,
And we're the fun show. And it's hard to say no to that. You know, we get people like members of the band Exodus performing with us on stage. There's no, I mean, even death metal freaks love to have fun.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've had Kat Von D. I didn't even know she could sing, but she provided vocals on one of your tracks.
Yeah, well, Hard On, that whole album is about Kat Von D.
Yeah,
It's that whole album's about my love affair with Los Angeles and my extreme deep admiration and love for Kat Von D. I mean, her tattoo shop was called High Voltage. I have a song called High Voltage.
yeah, yeah.
It just the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It just rots and springs new saplings.
That's a good analogy. I like that. Again, you perform with other legends like Juliet Lewis and Samantha Maloney from Hole and Motley Crue. But my favourite is Rat Scabies from The Damned.
One of our greatest, the Damned are my band.
Yeah,
The There's a few bands that changed my life, and the Damned is one of them. To
yeah,
me, they're the first punk band. In my opinion, they're the first real punk band. You know, I know a lot of people say the Sex Pistols, and this might seem like sacrilege, but I love Steve Jones. I'm
yeah,
not a big Pistols fan. So
yeah,
I'm not like against the Pistols. I love the Pistol, but the Damned, dude, you got a bunch of punks and you got Dracula, Casanova, Frankenstein on lead vocals. I mean, dude, you can't really go much further than that. That's genius. And they also sing love songs. New
yeah,
Rose, Brian James. I mean, that dude is a god, and he's one of the most underrated people I think in our whole world.
yeah.
I think that that man should be celebrated on a level that's far greater than he is. But Rat Scabies happens to be one of my dearest friends, and he's been a mentor to me and someone who's taught me things and shown me things and given me advice. And when E- Eagles of Death Metal were performing on a tour about 12 years ago, and Rat was at the show, I think we were at Coco's, And Joey Castillo looked onto the side of stage, and we have New Roses in our set. So he looked over at Rat and said, "I can't play this when you're here. You have to play it." And when we had that moment on stage with Rat playing New Rose, it was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. One of my proudest moments. It
Yeah.
it it really allowed me
Because
to live out a fantasy.
yeah, because you did that 2008, and I've got it wrote down on my many notes here. 2008, 2009, and 2015. He joined you on stage, I believe.
Yeah, we even took Rat and Brian out on tour, and they
Yeah.
opened for us.
Wow.
Because Rat was very interested in keeping Brian in music and wanted him to. So he was like, "Do you think we can open for you?" And I'm like, "Do you think? You tell me. You're the boss. Of course you can."
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Which
I
is
don't
what, for
think
me,
anybody.
Eagles of Death Metal. That's what Eagles of Death Metal is supposed to be about. It's really just about the joy of music and the joy of
Yeah.
rock and roll, and everyone gets to come celebrate.
Yeah. Because when I think of punk, when it comes to America, one of the names that always springs to my mind, who I associate most with it, is Juliette Lewis. You can't get more punk than her. She is really out there on her performances and her whole
She's the real
demeanor.
deal. To me, she's a rock and roller that happens to be an actress,
Yeah. Yeah.
truly. And she loves music. She's the real deal. Juliet is the real deal, probably realer than all of us. And uh, one of the many reasons I love her. She's also one of my favorite actresses, so it's like double prizes. But
Yeah.
and she also has a love of the band, the Minutemen and Firehose, and a lot of the SST punk bands,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I love.
Just bringing the mood down a little bit, and I apologise, but it has to be mentioned that you had the association with both Taylor Hawkins and we lost Brent Hines in August this year, which from Mastodon in a horrendous crash. But both of them also featured heavily with you.
Yeah, Brent and Taylor are they were after my own heart, and Brent was one of my best friends. We were planning on making a record together before he passed,
Yeah,
and we're both from the South. Our mothers are both from the same town. Um, all he was doing, he died because someone didn't want to wait to make a turn.
yeah,
That's what it's about, and you could see how beloved he is. That man is one of the wildest, most insanely talented individuals I've ever known in my life, and one of the best friends you could ever ask for. A weekly
yeah,
caller. He's what I call a weekly caller. He calls every week without fail to check in with my mom, to check in with me. He's a dedicated friend, and
yeah. Big loss.
it's been you know, sometimes you don't know how you're going to react to things. You don't really know how it's going to make you feel. And for me, the whole world has gotten a lot less brighter since those fellas left.
Yeah. Well, I do believe I've got I believe it is Brent Hines that it happened to, but I'm sure you know Deftones, and they might correct me on which person it was from Mastodon, but I'm sure it was Brent Hines. I was at Download Rock Festival in the UK, and Deftones were performing on stage. And what looked to be Brett Hines was walking down the middle where the press goes and all of, where the public aren't allowed. And he looks just like every rocker. And he's going like that to the band. And then he pulled his top up to show his man boobs off. And he stood in front of the stage. Now, an exuberant security guard thought he was one of us trying to get on stage, got him in a headlock, starts dragging him away, and Deftones were like, no, 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 stop, 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 no, no, no. And then they couldn't help but laugh as he was dragged off. It was the funniest thing about that performance. And I'm
I know
pretty
what
sure it
performance you're
was,
talking about. Brent thought that was the funniest thing on earth. He thought that was funny. And Brent's the kind of guy that once that happened, he turned to that security guard and gave him a big hug and said, "No hard feelings. Thank you for that."
yeah. Yeah, I thought it were him. Yeah, it was. I were there in the crowd, and it was absolutely hilarious. And the reaction of Deftones is what made it because they were trying to stop it, but then they just couldn't help but laugh.
Well, and I have a deep love and connection for the Deftones.
Yeah,
They were in Paris and they had just left our show right before the attack.
yeah,
I remember waving goodbye to them, and I remember being so grateful that they had left. It was the
yeah,
only time I was ever grateful that my friends weren't present, and when I found out they were gone. Um,
yeah,
and Brent always would say to me, "You should have followed them out, dude.
yeah, yeah.
You should have left with them." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, hindsight's 2020, I guess."
Exactly. Because Josh Homme, he's had a lot to do with your albums. He's had a lot to do with your production, and but he never seems to tour with you.
Well, would you want to be on stage with him? I'm a vain son of a bitch. I want people to look at me, dude. And if he came out on tour, there'd be no chance, man.
Yeah,
So
with his chiseled looks.
yeah, with his ginger elvishness and his Viking marauder stature and all this, I just want to look at him. It would be too distracting for me. Also, I would just be like, Josh, you know what I mean? Like, because I think that Josh and I are the greatest gay couple that the world has never known about. That's my opinion. We're getting ready to make a new record, and we've been having these moments where we're brainstorming on what do we want to call it and what do we want our theme to be. And he looked at me as serious as a heart attack, and he goes, "How come we've never gone gay?" And I'm like, I don't know. That's a weird question, but we can find out together.
Right. Talking about gay, right? Mr.
Yes.
Boots Electric or Fruit Boots, your roller skating, nothing can detract from the gayest cover.
He's holding up the Christmas record.
Now, seriously, there's me dressed up as Frankenfurter, but then there's this, and once you see
That's
this,
just
you
me.
can't unsee
That's just me dressed.
it.
I love roller skating, and Christmas to me is a time to roller skate because roller skating is pure bliss. And I don't know if you noticed over here, but if we go back to my steps, you will see two pairs of roller skates right there.
I was going to ask, do you still roller skate?
I roller skate every chance I get.
Yeah, I'm glad you've changed it to Boots Electric instead of Fruit Boots.
Believe me, I wasn't calling myself Fruit Boots. I was being called Fruit Boots. Joshua always used to say he would always. I mean, people would call me Fruit Boots, and he'd be like, "Dude, you should have like a fruit display on your rollerblades when you come in, because I think that's the only way to really uh, uh, display what it is you're actually about." And it's like, yeah, okay, sure,
Do you wear them shorts when you skate?
yeah,
Because they're tight red shorts.
yeah. They leave nothing to the imagination. I like to fill in the blanks for people. I don't like to keep people guessing.
Like you need silver shorts now you've been playing Rocky, you know that.
Well, you also know now that when I see you in England, I'm going to be wearing silver shorts just for you. You think I'm kidding? Tell him I'm not kidding.
Does that mean I've got to dress up as Frank?
It means something. Yeah, it means something like that. You got to dress up as something because I'm going to be there just for you in silver shorts.
Are you ready for this? Seeing as we've seen you in the silver shorts.
Oh, that I got to show Jen. Jen produced our stage show.
Oh, that's sick as fuck. I love that. That's right on, man. I
That's
love it.
amazing. That's amazing. See, we have
Sorry
so
for
much in
anybody
common.
that watches this video.
I'm glad for anyone that watches this video that they get to see that.
But anyway, embarrassment moving on. Um, there is the Zipper Down album, which has definitely got the best cover photo I've seen.
Yeah, where we're nipples.
Yeah,
I always wanted to be a nipple. It's a very strange desire, but I've always wanted to be a human nipple, and I finally got my opportunity.
Yeah. Well, I did actually
But
get to see you.
He said, "Do you want
I did
say
get
that
to see
again.
you perform. I did get to see you perform last year at well, this year, sorry, Download Festival this year. You were on the second stage, and you were on Before the Darkness. Unfortunately, the sound from the main stage was really bad for your performance, but it was a very good performance. I've got to admit, I was very taken by your guitarist that was in red with the big glasses and the Stetson. She was rather nice. I don't know her name.
Ginny V.
Evie.
Ginny V.
Oh, Jenny Evie. Right. Okay.
She she has she now has a band called the Midnight Cowgirls, and
Yeah.
she has taken her leave of Eagles of Death Metal. But the thing about Eagles of Death Metal is once you serve, you always are serving. It's like the CIA without all the torture.
Yeah. Well, that was my first time seeing you, and I really enjoyed it. It was an excellent set, and you say you're coming to the UK, so I can't wait to see you again.
I love England. I mean, I wrote a song called English Girl on our first album. I obviously have a great love affair for the English people and English culture. And I say that very guardedly, but I think we all know what I mean. So I'm a big fan of the culture, and I like preserving it. And otherwise, we wouldn't have any rock and roll if it weren't for England. If it weren't for England, we wouldn't have rock and roll the way we have it right now. We wouldn't have almost any of the great things that we have in music. Yeah, you could say Chuck Berry, but it 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 took people in England obsessed with Chuck Berry, like Keith Richards, to show us what we need to see about it so that we can become really obsessed. So there's no downplaying the role and the importance of the role of England at large, of Great Britannia in the rock and roll scene.
Yeah. We've got some amazing bands. Even now, there's some fantastic acts that are coming out of Great Britain, which some young acts. There's a band called Jailer. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're a lot like Led Zeppelin, but they're 18-year-olds, and they're absolutely incredible.
Jailer.
Mm,
Well, once I get off this call, you better believe I'm going to get hip.
yeah, yeah, they're just absolutely insane for such young people. From me seeing them last year to seeing them this year, they're going to be stratospheric. They're touring with they're going to be touring with Joan Jett, who also did Rocky Horror Show, but they're going to be touring with Joan Jett and Sammy Hagar in the
Well, we
UK.
toured. Joan Jett took us under her wing, and we toured with her.
Oh
So
wow!
you can't get a better education than touring with Joan Jett because she takes it very seriously, and when she loves you, she takes you under her wing, and she teaches you things that you couldn't possibly hope to learn in any other situation. So
Yeah.
I'm a Joan Jett. I mean, my first album, clearly, I want to be Joan Jett. I just thought it would be hilarious, and she took Gary Glitter and turned him into a girl. I thought I would take Joan Jett and turn him into a man.
Yeah, brilliant. Because I grew up listening to Joan Jett. She is an absolute legend, really is.
And she's also another one that's inspired my love of covers because her biggest hits are covers.
Yeah.
I love Rock and Roll's an Arrow song, and Do You Want to Touch is a Gary Glitter song. I'm just
Yeah.
glad she did the Gary Glitter song because now I know it can be sung and we're not talking about kids.
She also sang "I Want to Be Your Dog," which was oh, my brain's just gone. Oh God, who sang that? What's his
The
name?
Stooges,
Yeah, Stooges.
Iggy
Yeah,
Pop,
go on. What's
and then she
Iggy
also
Pop?
did
That's the one.
Crimson and Clover. She did
Yes.
Tommy James and the Shondells, and it's become one of her staples. She
Yeah.
owns the song. She occupies that real estate as though it's her own. The same way Jimi Hendrix owns All Along the Watchtower.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's incredible. That weren't his song, but "I Want to Be Your Dog" was one of my all-time favorite songs as a teenager. Absolutely loved it. And listening to how she sang it, it was just, yeah, brilliant.
Well, I'm a Stooges fanatic and an MC5 fanatic. And if you get a chance, I just did a cover of a Ramones song, uh, I Want to Be Your Boyfriend, with Wayne Kramer from the
Okay.
MC5. It's the last thing he did before he died. And
Yeah.
I'm incredibly proud of it.
Oh, right. I will check that out when I finished talking to you. So have you got any new music coming out for the Eagles of
Oh,
Death
yeah.
Metal?
We have a new album. We've been in the process of, Joshua and I are both so busy. And Eagles of Death Metal has a beautiful problem in that we don't really need a record out to tour because we're kind of a circus band. It's about
Yeah.
our live show. So we're in a very fortunate place where we don't need to have a record out to tour. Where that becomes problematic is that we need to find time to do shit.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be going into Jim Henson's studio here pretty soon and rocking out another record. But for me, it's easy because I just steal the same songs over and over again. I'm not
Do
trying to
you
do
have,
anything different. I'm just trying to do it the same as Little Richard.
yeah. Do you have a working title?
Well, we have a couple. I wanted to call it Sex Traffic and have Josh and I be traffic cops in the middle of a big intersection of beautiful people, but I feel like that might be lost. The what I'm trying to say might be misinterpreted, and I would just hate for that to happen. Um, but Sex Traffic was, I like Karate Kiss. I like Perfect, the word perfect
Yeah.
with TH at the end of it. I like that one a lot because that one's funny to say. And we are.
The Mary Todd one, I can't remember.
Oh, the Mary Todd. I cannot remember what the Mary Todd.
Them.
Yeah, yeah. People come up. We're very fortunate too that our friends like to get involved, and occasionally I'll get a call that'll say like, "Dude, you should think about calling the album this," and whatever it is. Oftentimes, I'm like, I don't think we should be calling the album this, um, but we're always waiting for it to show itself to us. Sex traffic is what we, but if we wanted to be controversial, we could call the album Vagina. I mean, I think that's the only
That
way
look
you could
like,
actually.
yeah,
What?
like the song 42.30. I need to find a new vagina. Surely you've heard that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, and I think that, I mean, like, how can you be really controversial in this day and age? There's not many ways to
Oh,
do it, but Vagina might do it.
yeah. Yeah, that were Bloodhound Gang, weren't it?
Yeah, I love the
4.230.
Bloodhound Gang. By the way, I love the
Yeah,
Bloodhound Gang, and
yeah, I do.
maybe we'll call it the Vagina Dialogues.
It's a good one. Or you could just call it Fixed Towers instead of Faulty Towers.
Ooh, Fixed Towers, dude.
What funny.
That's genius. I'm stealing that from you, dude.
You can have it. It's my gift.
Thank you. That's going to be, somehow that's going to be on a record, whether it be title or title of a song. Fixed Towers.
Right. Well, I've
You
got one
know,
more question before we
yes, sir. Go for it.
disappear, and it's my lady's question, my partner Tracy.
Hi,
Tell me
Tracy.
something. Tell me something about you that nobody knows.
What?
I said that you're gay.
That I'm deeply homosexual. No, 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 no. Something that nobody knows about me. I'm a I'm a Vatican endorsed priest.
Wow. So you could technically marry me and my partner then.
I could.
He started record sorting.
I started Record Store Day.
No one knows that.
Did you?
I did.
Wow, I did not know that. I've spent many a fortune on Record Store Day.
I created Record Store Day as a means by which to keep the record industry alive, and something I'm
Yeah,
very, very fucking proud of because 80% of almost every independent record store's business is done on Record Store Day.
yeah, yeah. But the last thing I bought on Record Store Day was War of the Worlds Ooh La like dance album.
I bought my last record store was Jurassic 5, this special wooden box box set
That's cool.
that has the Jurassic 5 album in it.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool.
Because I love hip hop too. The truth is, I'm a George Clinton fanatic.
Yeah.
I'm a Parliament fanatic. I'm just the whitest white boy you'll ever see. So George Clinton goes inside of me as George Clinton, and then it comes out as Eagles of Death Metal.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy about that. I'm just fine with that.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I literally cannot wait to meet you when you come on tour.
Well, we're friends already now. So now we're already friends. You can't get rid of me now. You're stuck with me. And
Well, you've got my number.
I got your number now, buddy. And I expect to see you and Tracy at my next gig.
You will. Tracy likes to wear 50s dresses, so you'll
Oh,
not miss her.
I love her immediately. I love her immediately. And then we can talk about your nuptials.
Yeah, that's right. Excellent. So thank you very much for giving me your time.
Oh, my time is always going to be yours, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I'll
dude.
catch up with you soon. Right, see you
You got it,
later.
brother. Bye.
Bye.
That was awesome.